Oh, yeah,
that you
yes, sir.
have.
Oh, yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And understand, the ordinance word verbatim was never run in the paper, and citizens are supposed to see the ordinance by word verbatim. Yes, sir.
We're not changing anything in the ordinance.
No, no, we're not. Any other questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay. Consider approving travel for the Board of Mayors and Selectmen to attend Mississippi Municipal Regional Legislative Meeting in Natchez, Mississippi on Thursday, August the 30th, 2018. Can I get a motion in second? Okay, moving too fast. Didn't get the first one.
Brock and Hill.
Selectman Brock, Selectman Hill. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay. Consider approving travel of Mayor Lockley to attend the Southwest Mayor's Conference in Brookhaven, Mississippi on Thursday, September the 27th, 2018. Can I get a motion? Okay, Brock, Selectman Hill. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Opposed is nay. Number 27, there came from consideration adopting resolution appointing Chief Gary McKenzie as interim fire chief for the city of McComb, Mississippi for a term of 90 days. In addition, open the position for any and all applicants who may be interested. Can I get a motion and second?
So moved.
Selectman Brock. Going once. Twice. Selectman Hill. Discussion.
Mayor,
Yes, sir.
there are people on this board that don't have a job. Apparently, they don't understand how hard our department heads work, the great job they've done for 4 years, 4 or 8 years, whatever. They deserve 4 years, not a threat of 90 days. So I will, for the record, I'll be against this.
Selectman Hill.
Being elected as a board member is considered a part-time job, correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
Okay, Selectman Brock, I saw your hand.
I don't know who he's referring to. I worked all my life, all my life. I raised all my kids here off my floor earning money. And I stay in a house that I work for. I don't stay in my father-in-law's house. My money earned that. So I don't know who you're referring to. Selectman Toles.
Excuse me.
Thank you, sir.
Excuse me. Let's
Thank you.
we're not gonna have this. Not gonna have it.
Everything 10-2.
Now, Selectman Johnson.
Did you ever get a letter back from Tommy Lindley?
Not Lindsay, Tommy Sala.
Tommy, I'm not wrong, Lindley. Tommy Sala.
Give me 10. Okay. What Selectman Johnson is speaking of, I was in a conversation with Tommy Sala, who works for Phelps and Dunbar. Am I that? Phelps and
Dunbar.
Okay. And in that conversation with Ms. Donna, one of the questions that I asked of him, and he verified, was that before we can appoint anyone interim, we have to declare each position vacant, because they are department heads. They are not the same as appointees, because the appointees' last day was June the 30th. These are department heads, and if you want to go this route, you can go that route, but you're going to have to first declare these positions vacant before you can appoint or declare anyone interim. Did I state that correct, Ms.?
That's correct.
Thank you.
Do you got a copy of that letter?
We asked, did Tommy provide us?
I see it. when we do declare these positions vacant. In Mr. Siler's letter, he does state, "We are not limited to discharging employees only for performance-based problems. We are within our rights to discharge employees because we want to move in a different direction, because we want an employee with more, better, or different qualifications, because we want to reorganize our operations, or for any number of legitimate, non-discriminatory reasons. Keep in mind, though, that neither a judge nor a jury is required to believe our reasons, and they are perfectly free to find we are not telling the truth and the real reason we discharged someone was because of illegal, discriminatory reasons. It is much better, much less expensive, and much less distracting to proceed deliberately and articulate our reasons for making termination decisions as we make them, rather than articulate a reason only after we are sued." I think we need to walk very lightly.
Mr. Johnson?
Mr. Dowd, do all department heads serve at the will and pleasure of this board of mayor and selectmen?
Yes, sir.
Do we have to have a reason to terminate any department head?
This letter, I hope all of you, read and pay attention. No, you can terminate them for whatever reason, okay? But what he's pointing out is that if you don't have a reason that does not based on federal discriminatory statutes, then you could be subject to a lawsuit. And I've told y'all that in the executive session. I'll say it again. The reasons need to be articulated into the record. You don't have to do that to fire somebody, but I would tell you should do that to avoid a big judgment to be paid out of general fund.
So, could it be our discretion that if we decide to vacate the seats for a 90-day term, vacate them and then put someone there on a 90-day term? When we vacate them, we say that we just might want to consider going to a different direction?
Well, Mr. Siler told me he was sending the letter. I asked him, and he sent me a copy. He did not mention in the letter now the requirement that the offices be vacated. He and I have never had that conversation about whether or not it's of import that they be vacated.
But Mr. Dowd, didn't you tell us that the buck stops with us on
Oh,
any
absolutely.
employee?
I'll say, y'all, anybody, that works for the city, they work at the will and pleasure. You have, in prior administrations, appointed people, various people to sit in that chair, and you have given Mr. Butler and others, by your ordinances, the authority to hire and fire employees. But as he says in this letter, you can hire and fire everybody. And he covers that point in this letter.
I think this board has done our employees and our citizens a good diligence by allowing our department heads and especially our appointees to remain on a 90-day term. The reality is that this board could have came in on day one and vacated every seat, all department heads, but we didn't do that. And nobody, and let me be clear, nobody has said to me that someone wasn't going to be rehired or reappointed. So where discrimination is coming from, I'm not sure.
Yes, sir.
I'm not sure why we're waiting on 90 days. I think in an executive session, people were mentioning about being replaced the first meeting. So I don't know what the 90 days is all about.
Initially, the 90 days came as a recommendation from the mayor because we had new selectmen who did not know these people and you are asking them to appoint people based upon your opinion. And they did not have time to properly meet, put a face and a name together. As well as if people were going to present other people for positions, they didn't know whether or not these people were qualified, whether or not, so that would allow them to get those 90 days. If somebody wants to put in for the job, who's qualified, they had the opportunity to submit their name. That's where the 90 days came from. It was a recommendation that came from the mayor. And I would not hire somebody, or agree to hire somebody when I don't know them. And based upon somebody else's opinion, no. I wouldn't vote to put a person in office based on somebody else's opinion. It should be based on your own opinion, your own evaluation, your own determination, not based on someone else's opinion. Yes, sir, Mr. Brown.
I'd like to make a motion, make a motion to add one additional item.
Okay, let's finish this one. We got one thing on the floor right now.
So do we gotta vacate this first, or?
Mr. Dowdy says that he did not talk. I'm talking about the conversation that I had with Ms. Davis, myself, and Tommy Sowers, talked on the telephone as it relates to interim. He said you cannot appoint someone interim unless there is a vacancy. So you will have to vacate those offices before you appoint them interim. So if you vacate the office, what are you doing?
Firing.
Or terminating it, whatever word you want to use.
Again, Mayor, that letter, you know, there's not. Or I overlooked it, it's in there.
I'm just making that statement. So, on this one, as well as the other three, 27, 28, 29, what do you all want to do on it? Because what we do with one, we're going to do it to all.
Well, we done did one of them, so,
Yeah.
right on.
So are we going to vacate the office?
Do you want a motion to that?
If that's what you all want to do.
I'm gonna raise my hand again.
Okay, Mr. Brown.
I wanna make a motion. You want me to read the motion?
Read the motion, Mr. Brown.
The motion is to declare the position as Fire Chief, Public Works Director, Recreation Department vacant, and open the position for any and all applicants who may be interested.
There is a motion to vacate
Second.
the position, second, and that's for positions,
Fire Chief,
Fire Chief, Public Works Director, and Recreation Director. It's been motioned by Selectman Brock, second by Selectman Hill. Any discussion?
When will this go into effect? I mean, will they have a job tomorrow?
We ain't got that far yet.
We haven't gotten that far yet.
So,
This is the first step, and then you can appoint them interim.
so we're fixing to fire three positions. Okay. I'm just asking.
Yes, sir.
we're about to do what we did a few weeks ago, and this should have followed immediately, but it didn't for some reason. But it didn't, so we're doing the same exact thing that we did a few weeks ago, and we didn't fire anybody. All those seats that were vacated, we're following the same process.
Yes, sir.
Did we vacate those seats?
Those seats were automatically on June the 30th vacant.
Okay. So we didn't vacate those seats?
No, they were already vacant on June
I
the 30th.
didn't remember vacating.
We
So-
appointed them interim.
So are these positions are hired by the board?
These positions, department heads are hired as well as terminated by the board.
By the board.
Any other questions? Discussion? All in favor declaring?
The motion, the substitute, I'm just.
With the motion to vacate
Okay, I got you.
the position of fire chief, vacate the position of recreation director and public works director.
Question to Mr. Dyer. Mr. Dyer, do we need to add to this motion in order for these employees to continue to work, to serve as interim?
Again, you've got great discretion. If a motion could be within your discretion, at the end of the day, this table decides on city attorney, city administrator, everybody, okay, that works for the city of McComb. You can grab this motion, we're gonna vacate the job of fire chief. However, on an interim, you can combine the motions. Yes, sir, you can do that.
Okay, well, that's what we're trying to get to, is to make the motion to declare these seats vacant. And these positions, these employees to serve as interim,
You can do that in one motion, yes, sir.
Once we vacate them.
I'd like to make a substitute motion to add the wording. However, the employees to these positions serve a 90-day interim position.
And that they will serve as interim for 90 days.
That's, if you want to word it that way, yes.
Okay. Motion to add an amendment to that, to Mr. Brock's motion to include, and to serve as interim, in these positions for 90 days.
Correct. Up to 90 days.
Up to 90 days.
I think that was the wording that we did. Okay.
Up to 90 days. It was motion and second. Any discussion?
Yes, sir.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
1, 2, 3. 3. Did you get those 3? All against?
Nay.
Lockley vote yea.
Who?
It was motion by Rock, second by Hill,
Okay.
that the positions would be vacated and they will serve as interim for 90 days. Okay. I have 2 items that I need, addendum, I need to have added to this before we go for tonight. One item is receiving comments and a recommendation from the city administrator, Mr. Calvin Butler, as it relates to our financial condition. And 2, consider awarding $500 from the Walmart Donation Fund 158021690 to Police Officer Christopher Hass. These funds were donated by Walmart to the city of McComb to be used to help fire victims only.
So moved. Sir.
It was motion by Selectman Cameron, second by Selectman Toller, that these 2 items would be added to the agenda. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Okay, at this time, Mr. Butler.
Okay, in line with the mayor's news conference given on Friday, August 10th, 2018, effective immediately, the city of Macomb will freeze all hiring for the rest of this year ending December 31st, 2018. It is important to the mayor and myself that we move in this direction to make sure the city of Macomb finances remain secure. Also, just a reminder that on Monday, August 6, 2018, I placed a freeze on all major purchases unless absolutely necessary. I will continue to keep you informed as we move forward. As you also know, the application process for all appointed positions closed on Friday, August 10th at 5:00 p.m. The Civil Service Commission will meet tomorrow morning to certify the police chief applicants and determine who will be eligible for consideration for an appointment. Once Civil Service has certified the candidate, Ms. Davis and I will begin the interview process. Ms. Davis will email a list of all applicants who submitted a letter for consideration. The resumes will be available for you to review in Mrs. Davis' office. Please contact her directly to set up your date and time to review. That's all.
Okay. Are there any questions for the city administrator?
How we hiring these people, we got a freeze on them. I'm gonna venture to guess that we're gonna get rid of some people. Okay.
I think what he's saying is after today, after tonight, all three, if I understand you correctly, I think that's what he's indicating.
So all those people we just put on 90 days.
Remember now, I said this is for all of the appointed positions that we vacated a month ago.
Okay.
Remember now, this is not what just happened tonight. It was just August 10th was the deadline for that. That's all I spoke to.
So,
I think what he's referring to in that first statement, and I'm not gonna try to second guess him, but you can, I think what he's saying there is that at the present employment level, that it will remain the same for all vacancies.
Yes, sir.
For all vacancies, we will not fill those vacancies until after December 31st. That's what I think. I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, Mr. Butler.
But that's very good, man.
Yeah. But that's what I think he's saying. As you know, personnel makes up 70 to 75% of the budget, and if you're going to have any savings and try to shore up your budget, that is one area that you can do it faster than anything.
And this is not the city's first time doing this.
No, sir, it is not. I can say that because I was the city administrator when we've had to do it before.
Last year.
while we're talking about the budget, just one question. The former mayor on June, whatever board meeting that was, on his going out,
Okay, go ahead.
on his going out, he gave us an audit report that said the city was in good financial standings, and nobody objected to that at our first board meeting, so I'm kind of lost at, I think that we should have been brought up.
Let me try to answer that, Selectman Johnson. He was dealing with the audit report at the end of September 30th, 2017. When you ended, that's what we started with. This is 2018, what the projected end fund balance when the audit was completed. Yes, the city was in good financial condition, but since then until now,
So within a month, we got in bad financial.
I didn't say in the month. You're looking at the end September 30th, 2017. That's what that audit said. That's the period of time it was speaking of. So from October 1 to now, that's the period we're in. So yes, things have changed since October 1 to now. Okay. Consider awarding $500 from the Walmart Donation Fund 158 021-690 to Policeman Officer Christopher Hass. These funds were donated by Walmart to the city of McComb to be used for fire victims only. Can I get a motion and a second?
So moved. Second.
Selectman Cameron, Selectman Toller. Any discussion? Yes, sir. Yeah. Walmart gave as a donation to the city, just for that purpose. They specified that when they gave it to us.
Well, it should not flow through the city of McComb, then, I'm sorry, because, you cannot make a donation to anybody. And, I don't see a problem. I mean, Janice, what am I missing here?
Well, I mean, just from the time that we received that money in, we received it, as in the city hall, as well as the police department received a donation from Walmart, and they were to use it for equipment and stuff, and they used their money. But with this money that was given to the city of McComb, it was to be put in, a fund by itself, and it was to be used for fire victims, and that's what they were wanting us to do with those funds, for nothing other than that.
I know, but my question is, we have no authority to put it in Officer Hess's name. I mean, it's gotta be in the city of Macomb fund. If this board wants to bring Officer Hess up here to say how he wants it spent, or to
I mean,
be
if they want to do that, but it really wasn't, I mean, they donated it to the city for that purpose. So if we need to do something differently, we may be able to do that.
You know a lot more about that than me, but I
Yeah, but I'm just
don't
saying
know.
what it was given to us for at that time, so no one has come up and said differently that we couldn't do it since it was given to us for that purpose. But I do agree with you on that, now that you've made that point. If we need to bring those items, if we say, okay, you need a certain amount of items purchased or whatever, and you can bring the receipts or whatever, or we can do that, or purchase it, that may be another way to go rather than to give him the cashmere. But that's up to the board to decide.
Can we get in touch with Walmart and just have Walmart to just write them a check for $500?
I'm sorry, this has been money that they gave us either 2013 to 2014. So, I mean, we've had that money since then, so I don't know if Walmart would.
But it's in a fund of the city of Macomb.
It's in a special fund in the city, yes.
And the check is signed by the
Yes,
mayor?
Yes, it is. So I see your point on that, so we can do something different.
Well, if it's work, don't rock the boat.
I'll tell you,
It's very unusual.
let me say it like this. If you all would amend that with, saying with stipulations from the state auditor's office.
Make a motion
Either add that language.
to, just stipulate state auditor approval.
Restate.
Okay, consider awarding $500 from the Walmart donation fund, 158-021-690 to police officer Christopher Hass. These funds were donated by Walmart to the city of Macomb to be used by fire victims only, per instructions by the state auditor's office. It was motioned by Mr. Cameron, second by Ms. Brock. With those wording, any discussion?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
I have a question for the fire chief about the actual report and what happened. If that's convenient this time.
If he can give us a quick one.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the question.
Chief McKenzie, have you reviewed this report, the fire marshal's report?
That's, what you have should be our incident report. The report that the state fire marshal's office does, they don't share with us. That would go back if they felt there was some kind of criminal proceeding, an arson investigation or something, they would share that with the police department or with the sheriff's department.
Mhm.
But once the state fire marshal's office takes the investigation, they'll tell us that we're done, there's nothing here, and that's it. We don't get a report back from them, an official report that the case has been closed.
Right.
We don't get that, we never have.
Okay, I see here that, what they call it, ignition. Do we know exactly what caused it?
Not exactly.
Because in the newspaper, it says something about a cigarette.
That is the most likely cause. But again, when you're dealing with, official documents, you can't prove it beyond a shadow of a doubt. They can't say that, yes, that is absolutely, here it is, this is what caused it.
So we're not even sure, but it was reported that it was a cigarette in the trash can, but we're not even sure if it was that.
To 100% certainty, no, because we don't have the cigarette, we don't have the trash can.
Why was that reported?
That was statements made by some of the witnesses.
Okay, because I've got other statements that I'm concerned about. That's why the only reason why I'm asking.
I guess the way a fire investigation works is they attempt to trace back to the point of origin, and then as best they can, they're going to recreate what was there.
Okay.
So they know exactly where the fire started.
Okay.
They found that exact location, and based upon the residents, statements from the residents, and materials that were found there, they know that at that point was the trash can. Okay, the trash can was consumed, but they know that that is where it was located. They know that one of the occupants was a
Who knows that?
Sir?
Who knows that?
That's going to be the investigators from the state fire marshal's office.
Okay, so you have spoken with him and you have not, but you haven't seen anything in writing?
In writing, no, sir. Yes, I have spoken with him.
City Administrator, can you request a report, please?
Yes.
Thank you, Chief.
Okay. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed was nay.
Refuse.
Recuse yourself. Okay. Announcement.
The work that we just did on these, 3 positions, advertising, we start when?
Advertising is,
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow. How many days?
Probably 30.
30 days.
Nowhere in the motion where it said we were gonna advertise.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion for one additional item. Mayor, my motion would be that, that we'll, city administrator and the HR manager will advertise the position starting tomorrow and be open for 30 days.
Who said? It was motion that we add one additional item, and that item is that the city administrator and Ms. Davis will open the position up for any and all applicants on tomorrow. Yes.
Yeah. That was made in my original motion. Open the position for any applicants who may be interested. That was in the original motion. That authorized that.
Okay. Disregard that.
Motion's first. Thanks, Mark.
Sir.
Next board meeting will be Tuesday, August the 28th. We will have a work session on August the 21st. Also, Ms. Brenda Travis will have her book signing on Thursday, 6 p.m. at the library. For those of you who want to go by and get her to sign, purchase the book and get her to sign the book and listen to Ms. Travis as she talks about her involvement in the civil rights movement. Any other announcements? So glad to see Selectman Johnson. Even though he had an accident, he was blessed to still stay here. He's learning how to walk on crutches.
Chief, make sure you tell those, where's the chief of police? Make sure you let Officer Daniels and Officer Adams know I really, really appreciate their assistance on Friday.
Okay. I need a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Okay, second. Motion by Selectman Cameron, second by Selectman Brock, that we adjourn. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposers, nay. Over. Go home.
All right, man. All right.